To create a campaign on CAASie, you can either go to the New Campaign shortcut in the side menu, or on the Campaigns page, you'll find the plus button here. First step is to give it a name. Try to use a consistent naming convention. If you have an agency account, you will then be prompted to select a client that the campaign belongs to. Next step is to select our boards. For this tutorial, we're using the hand select method. First up, it's going to prompt you for a city or location to zoom into. I'm in Brisbane, Australia, so I will look there. You can also select the venue types if you already know what you're looking for. For now, we'll just say anything. You could also skip this step. Now we're zooming into Brisbane, and every board that is connected to the CAASie network is populating on the map. The map is fully interactive, so I can click and pan or scroll to zoom in and out. Next up is to look at the map filters across the top here. You can search by keyword, venue type, or orientation, as well as some advanced filters. Let's for the moment look at the venue types and select gyms. You'll see that the available boards have now narrowed down to only the gym sites. On the left-hand side, you will see a list of all of the screens that are in the viewing window, and you can add those to your campaign using the plus button. You can also click on any of the individual pins, open up some information, and hit plus to add those to the selection as well. If you wanted to select a broader area, you could use the polygon tool on the side here and draw a shape to select all boards within that area. Now that all these boards have been selected, you'll see in your cart here there are 67 boards with $170.95 per hour as the recommended spend rate. If you open up your cart, you'll be able to review all of these boards that have been selected. You can also sort them by relevance, cost, etc. Right now, it's sorted by least to most expensive. If you go the other way around, it'll be from most to least expensive. You can select any of the ones that look like they might be outside of your price range or otherwise unavailable, as this red indicator is showing, and remove those. You'll notice that the board numbers have reduced and the recommended spend has dropped. Now you can continue to the next steps. Now you'll set the schedule and budgets. The campaign is automatically set to start on the date of creation, but you should adjust this to a future date. Then you can either set an end date or you can leave this campaign ongoing. This setting defines the way that the campaign spend is controlled and cannot be changed once the campaign is no longer a draft. An ongoing campaign has no end date and will continue to run until it is paused or the spend limit is reached. Once the dates are selected, you'll be able to set a custom schedule as well. You can do that by clicking and dragging across the time periods that you are most interested in. You can also delete time blocks instead of having to clear the entire selection. As your schedule is being set, you'll see on the right-hand side the number of hours that are in the schedule. Now you can set the campaign budgets. Because this is an ongoing campaign, you can set either an hourly or daily budget to control the spend rate of your campaign. Let's set an hourly budget, which will act as both a limit and a goal. We can use the Suggest Hourly Pace button or set our own rate. Either way, you should be aiming for good or excellent budget score. You can also see we've got some more information popping up on the right, as well as this red bar, which is indicating that we do not currently have a total spend limit applied to the campaign. If you set no spend limit on your campaign, it means it will run indefinitely until you run out of credit or pause the campaign. Or if we set a limit, let's call it $50,000, then what will happen is that your campaign will run at the rate of $141 per hour until the $50,000 spend limit is reached. Now that all of the schedule and budget settings are completed, you can see the projections for your campaign. Note that if you did change this to a fixed duration campaign before going live, you'll need to be mindful of existing budget settings and adjust those. So let's just put that end date on just to show the difference. Now, what was previously the spend limit becomes a total campaign budget. The hourly rate is also still set. It's recommended to set to automatic and let CAASie do all the calculation for you, since it'll be aiming to spread the total budget across selected dates. Although the total spend remains the same, the layout of the projections is changed because it's calculating based on dates rather than just spend settings. but let's set this back to how it was before and continue on with the ongoing style campaign. Next step is to upload your artworks. If you don't have this ready, this step is skippable, so we can say, heck no, do it later, or keep moving through the campaign. In this section, you can upload creatives directly into the creative cards. What you're seeing here is the spec that is required and the file formats that are accepted, as well as the video length, where applicable. Under board coverage, you'll see how many of the boards that you've selected are covered by this specific spec requirement. When uploading an artwork, you can choose to upload a brand new artwork and just drag and drop a file, or you can select from a pre-existing gallery of artworks, as long as the artwork sizing is appropriate. I'll select this one here. And you can see that it has previously been rejected, but assuming that this had been approved or not yet reviewed, I would continue. I would now submit this for approval. Then it would be submitted to CAASie to review first, and then forwarded to the media owner for their approval. Once submitted, you'll see a preview of the artworks matching that spec. Where there is no preview visible, it means there's no artwork in the campaign that matches the board's spec requirements. If the same artwork matches multiple possible spec sets, it will automatically apply to any of them. For example, because this is an image and not a video, it doesn't matter that the length is different because it still matches the spec required for images. You can also export resolutions or bulk upload any of your files. The final stage of creating your campaign is to review all of the information that you've already created. You can review your schedule, budget limits, and boards, as well as your artwork. You'll also see warnings or notices when something isn't quite right. In this case, you can see I've only uploaded 1 out of the 9 required specs here, and down at the bottom of the page, I can review the projections again. In this section, you can make changes. Generally speaking, it will redirect to the step in the creation process, where you can make that change. In this case, I've taken us back to the very beginning to change the campaign name, but I can skip forward to the summary again. And you can see that the name has been changed. At the top, here, you can also generate a proposal. If looking to share campaign plans with your team or with a client, you can click on the Generate Proposal toggle and either download a PDF or share a web link. Once you're happy that everything is set the way that you want it to be, you can save and continue. This will now drop into the campaign dashboard, and you'll see here there's some errors that say that you're not live yet. The campaign does need to be set live before it can begin. The artworks also need to be approved, so the final steps here is to wait for your artwork approval, and then also to upload credit into your account. There's multiple places where you can top up your credits, but the easiest one if you've just created a campaign is to just scroll down on the overview page and top up here. But you can also go into your organization's billing pages and top up there.